Chillicothe, Ohio is a town caught between centuries, a place where deep Midwestern roots are suddenly colliding with the aggressive demands of a modern economy. The landscape here carries immense cultural weight, defined by ancient Hopewell earthworks that stand as a testament to the area's rich and enduring history. Yet the local government overseeing this heritage is physically crumbling. Inside City Hall, the roof is caving in, and chronic water damage threatens the very structure where the city's future is debated. To manage city business, the council relies on a standard procedure known as the three-read rule, designed to give the public time to review legislation. But recently, they have found a shortcut. By attaching emergency declarations to their ordinances, they bypass the waiting period entirely. This mechanism acts as a legislative steamroller. Fast-tracking items under the guise of an emergency allows the council to pass legislation swiftly, effectively silencing public scrutiny and debate before it can even begin. Beneath the surface, the procedural speed masks a government that is reacting to a future it hasn't yet secured the resources or the physical space to manage. The immediate pressure fracturing the town's quiet routine is a proposed, highly secretive data center taking over the site of Chillicothe's old paper mill. Despite the massive scale of the project, the council's own engineering committee made a startling admission. They have zero documented facts, no preliminary plans, and no contact with the owners. The committee openly confessed that they lack the technical expertise required to evaluate how a facility of this size will impact the local power grid and the municipal water supply. Realizing they are outmatched, the city hired outside law firm Bricker Graydon to figure out what legal rights the community actually has left. While the data center development pushes forward with quiet corporate precision, the local government charged with overseeing it is flying completely blind. Nature abhors a vacuum, and into this void of official expertise stepped the citizens of Chillicothe. Residents took the microphone, presenting the hard, technical research their elected officials failed to gather. Mechanical engineer Matthew Owen detailed the massive heat rejection these facilities generate, trapping residential neighborhoods under localized heat domes. The scrutiny extended underground, raising alarms about the town's water supply and PFAS chemical contamination from specialized firefighting foams used to suppress server fires. They brought economic data, noting the expansion of massive data centers in Ohio has correlated with a 175% spike in residential energy rates. Armed with this data, the residents' demand was simple. They didn't ask for a permanent ban, but a 6-month moratorium, a necessary pause to establish community safeguards before the project moves further. The frustration in the room quickly expanded beyond infrastructure. As the meeting continued, the breakdown of the local social contract became visible through explosive allegations leveled against the Chillicothe Police Department. Resident Zachary R. Smith presented a sustained internal affairs report, proving a local officer recklessly falsified a sex offense report, wrongfully targeting him. The city's internal investigation found the officer guilty of 7 distinct policy violations, including breaches of confidentiality and ethical standards. The disciplinary response for upending a citizen's life was a single written reprimand. Testimony continued with Alicia Malone, outlining a multi-year pattern of organized human trafficking recruitment occurring in local department stores. Malone detailed how police supervisors repeatedly ignored submitted video evidence and failed to enforce multiple civil protection orders, leaving vulnerable residents without the legal shield they were promised. The common thread in these testimonies was a growing perception that the town's safety and development protocols were being bypassed, leaving the public to perform the oversight they felt the administration had abdicated. The clash over accountability eventually looped back to the council's own procedures. Resident David White cited a recent Ohio Supreme Court ruling that directly targets the use of emergency declarations to bypass public scrutiny. The ruling demands specific justification. A city council cannot legally declare an emergency merely to speed up bill payments. They must prove an actual, immediate threat to public safety. Then White dropped a bombshell. On a recent hot day, the massive loading bay doors at the old paper mill were left open, and silhouettes resembling data server racks were visible inside, suggesting installation was quietly underway. The council absorbed the legal warning about emergency declarations and the revelation about the mill. Then they proceeded to vote to waive the three-read rule on several more items before adjourning for the night. Chillicothe highlights a specific tension in local governance. When corporate and procedural momentum move in tandem, they can outrun the public's ability to legally intervene. When the system is structurally unprepared to protect the people it governs, the final check against the steamroller of progress is an informed, unyielding citizenry.